Welcome back to the Daily Scoop, and here's the scoop for you. Am I the asshole for refusing to pick up my boyfriend after he spent all his money drinking and missed the last bus? I, 32 female, have been with my boyfriend Dan, 49 male, for almost 5 years. We have a 2-year-old son together, and I also have a 10-year-old daughter who lives with us. Dan is a recovering alcoholic. 2 years ago, we broke up because of his drinking and he went into rehab. After that, we both tried to work on ourselves and eventually got back together. Unfortunately, he started drinking again from time to time. For the past 3 years, I have been the main breadwinner. I work and cover all household expenses, housing, food, bills, etc. Dan stays home with our son and receives about $300 per month in government benefits for childcare. To be fair, when he is present and sober, he is a great father. He is patient, playful, and engaged with our son. The problem is that when he gets tired or stressed, he checks out completely and I end up carrying everything alone. After years of giving him money for drinking, taxis, and other things, I finally decided about 5 months ago I needed to set boundaries. I stopped giving him extra money and stopped rescuing him when he drank too much. Last weekend, he received his monthly $300 and spent the entire weekend drinking. By Sunday evening, he had run out of money and asked me for a $50 loan. I sent it to him. At 10:30 p.m., he called me and said he was going to miss the last bus home and had no money left because he stayed at the bar too long. He asked me to come pick him up, and I told him no. The kids were already asleep. I said it was his responsibility to get himself home. He had already spent the money and also the $50 I had just sent him. I turned my phone to silent and went to sleep. He ended up walking about 20 kilometers and home in the middle of the night. It took him about 5 hours. Now he says I'm cruel and that he would never do this to his partner. I think he's an adult and responsible for the consequences of his choice. So am I the asshole? Edit 1. I think the part of the reason I stayed so long was that I was worried about what would happen to Dan if I left and that he would end up with nothing. I need to prioritize myself and most importantly my children and be a better parent. Over the past months, I had already started emotionally detaching from the relationship and setting stronger boundaries. I can't keep carrying everything alone while Dan only adds to my stress. I've now decided to leave the relationship. Dan has also said he wants to break up, and it seems that my new boundaries are something he isn't willing to accept. I will be setting a move-out date for Dan. Edit 2. I also want to explain why I think I've been so blind to the situation for so long. I kept comparing our situation to that of a stay-at-home parent who has no income and no life outside of home. I felt that it wouldn't be fair for someone to be stuck at home without any money or independence. That became my excuse for a long time. Dan also spends a lot of time programming and writing books, which takes his attention away from our child. He has accused me of prioritizing my own work, the work that actually pays our bills, while not valuing his projects because they don't bring in any money. Looking back now, I realize I allowed Dan to manipulate me for far too long. 2 years ago, the situation was much worse than it is now. Because of that, the current situation didn't feel that bad in comparison. I didn't have the perspective to see that less bad is still not the life I want, nor the life I want my child to have. I also want to add that even though Dan struggles with alcohol, he is still an intelligent person and capable of being a good parent. He has helped me a lot with parenting skills and also helped me build my self-esteem and confidence, even if that may sound hard to believe given the situation. He is not entirely a bad person. The good does not erase the bad, and the bad does not erase the good. Life is just not black and white. I have decided to leave the relationship anyway, and I feel relieved and at peace with that decision. The future looks better now. So I'm 50-50. You're kind of the asshole in the beginning because you were basically an enabler, still giving him money, knowing he's gonna go drink and not trying to actually be there for him and tell him and say, hey, that $300 you're getting every month doesn't need to be spent on alcohol. Like, you weren't trying to help him in any way. You just kept giving him money and kept bailing him out. However, now on the flip side, I do feel like you're no longer the asshole because you left the relationship. You have to tell Dan, hey, you need to figure out your stuff because we have the kids together and I have to learn how to be better for myself, not only for myself, but for our child. You cannot keep babysitting Dan. You cannot keep enabling Dan. Dan is an adult. It is his responsibility to get himself together. The only thing you can do now is hope that Dan will be in a better place and hope that your child will have the life in the future that they deserve. Let me know in the comments who you think the asshole is.